Yogis, my name is Alex and welcome back to another 20 to 25 minute flow with me. Today's class has a focus on rinsing and reviving. So think twists, extensions through the side body, all sorts of things that are going to help and encourage a little bit of processing and moving through of our internal body, our internal energy, so that we can feel revived, renewed, and refreshed. This is perfect if you've had a bit of an indulgent week or you're coming off the back of the summer holidays and you just need a bit of realignment. So you will want your mat, obviously. A couple of yoga blocks might be helpful, and you might also want to have some water nearby. And before we get started, if you haven't already, then I invite you to come and join me over on Patreon, patreon.com/AlexBella, all one word. And there you'll find a bunch of free yoga classes, some mindfulness notes and exercises, guided meditations, recipes, and more. I would love to see you there. You can also find me on Instagram over on @alex.bella. Anyway, let's get started. We will begin seated on our mat. Feel free to place a block or a cushion underneath your tushy to give you a little bit more support there. And from this place, holding the fronts of your knees as if you're holding the wide handlebars of a bike, a motorbike. And then we're simply here just going to kind of stir the pot. So swirling the torso around here. Just creating a little bit of gentle movement, a little bit of waking up of the energy within the body. Warming up into the hips, the spine, the shoulders, the neck. You can sort of let the head move as a natural extension of the spine here. And then we'll reverse those circles and come back the other way. Nice. Coming back to center, finding that length through the torso. Thinking about having a strong spine and a soft front. So softening as we open through the chest, but maintaining supported and lengthened and strengthened through the back body. And then from here, let's inhale and circle the arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, right fingertips come behind us, left hand to the outside of that right knee, gently twisting over the right side. Remembering that the twist comes from the mid-back, the thoracic spine, less so from the muscles of the face. So relaxing through the eyes, the jaw, the tongue. And then inhale, come back through center, circle those arms up, gaze can lift. Exhale, second side, right hand to the outside of that left knee, left fingertips tented behind the tailbone there as we twist around to the second side. Beautiful. And then inhale, coming back through center, one final reach. Right fingertips to floor or a block, and let's reach that left arm up and over. So now we're finding space within the lateral side of the body, that left side, as we rotate chest to sky and reach through the ring finger here with that left arm. And then slight engagement of the core. Think lift, pelvic floor, navel to spine as we inhale through center, and then exhale second side. So left fingertips to mat. Rotate chest to sky. Anchor through that right hip here as you reach through the right ring finger. Really nice. And then we'll flow this a couple of times each side. Again, getting that energy moving gently. Exhale over. Starting to wake things up. Feeling some prana, some life force flowing through the body. Preparing to flush through anything we no longer need. Really nice. One more time each side here, yogis. And then coming back to center, leaning back onto the hands so you can uncross your legs and place the soles of the feet quite wide on the floor in front of you. If you are on a prop, you may like to move that out of the way now. And we're simply going to begin by tick-tocking the knees side to side here. So a really gentle twist here happening in the torso, but also starting to warm up a little more into those hips. Now stick with this, or if you'd like to extend and add on, as you drop the knees to one side, we can continue that rotation around, press into the backhand, lift the hips and swoop the other arm up and overhead. So now we've got a twist and a lateral stretch happening at the same time. Then drop the hips, swoop back around to the front, and then same thing other side. Swoop and up. And just Continuing with this movement here as we marry it with the breath. And if you'd like to add on slightly more, we can lift the knees here, pushing the hips towards the front, coming into like a little hovering, twisty shape. Really nice. Go for one more on each side. And then coming back through center. Perfect. Finding tabletop position now, coming onto hands and knees, spreading through those fingers and really anchoring through each of the finger pads. You might even like to, one at a time, consciously press them into your mat. And then finding some cow cats. So inhale as you scoop the tailbone to sky, burst that heart through the shoulders, looking in. And then exhale, press down through those finger pads, chin to chest, tucking that tailbone. Moving at your own pace here. Once again, marrying the breath and the movement. And at any point, making this a little bit more flowing and fluid, perhaps drawing some figure eights, dropping the hips down and back, tuning into what feels good in your body here as we start to flush through and create a bit of a rinse and release. Movement is the best way to move stuck emotions, stuck food, stuck anything really, and create more alignment and flow in the body. So well done to you for showing up here today. Now, taking one more moment here in your cat-cow. And then we'll tuck the toes, gently walk the hands back to the knees, and work the hips towards the sky here, finding an Uttanasana, forward fold at the base of your mat. Letting the head hang heavy here like a bowling ball and bending through the knees as much as you need as we interlace the fingers around opposite elbows and just sway side to side here. Almost imagining a trickling out from the crown of the head of anything that no longer serves you, that you are ready to rinse out and release from the body in order to feel revived and renewed. Okay, release those hands. Let's slowly roll up the spine, stacking the vertebrae as we go. Rolling the shoulders when you get to the top, coming to standing. Walking to the front of your mat, and we'll take a little bit of a twist on a sun salutation. We're going to cross our right leg over our left, and we're crossing quite high here, yogis, right up at the top of the thighs. Slight bend in the knees, so that, just hang on, darling. Sorry. There you go, sweetie. Have a little visitor. Bending softly at the knee so we're not locking out those joints. And then from here, we will inhale, hands through heart center, reaching to the sky. And then exhale, maintain the cross of the knees as we fold forward. Inhale, find your halfway lift. And then the foot that's behind, so your left foot now, as you fold forward, is going to step to the back right corner of your mat. So you're in like a bit of a crisscrossed lunge position here. Nice. From here, press firmly into that front foot and open your right arm up. So we're finding an easy twist, the cross of those legs. And then return that hand to the floor. Back foot is going to step and cross in front of the right foot into a downward facing dog cross. Again, we're crossing right at the tops of the thighs. You just need to slide that. Good boy. The joys of preschoolers. Nice. Okay, listening carefully, yogis. The foot that is behind in this cross, so your left foot, is now going to step to the right hand. So we're bringing it forward to the front of the mat and crossing it over. So we're in that same low lunge position, but now on the other side. And then bring that back foot into cross behind the right into your forward fold. Nice. Find your halfway lift here. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Palms come up through heart center, through third eye, reaching to the sky. And then exhale, bringing them down, uncrossing the legs, Tadasana. Nice work. Let's take this again, second round. So now we'll cross left foot in front of right. And inhale to reach those palms to sky. Exhale, maintain that cross at the very tops of the thighs as we fold. Halfway lift as we inhale. The leg at the back of the cross, the right leg, comes back towards the back left corner of the mat. And then drawing that left hip back in space as we uncurl that left arm into our easy twist. Nice. Hand finds the floor. Downward facing dog. Left foot forces in front of the right. Taking a breath here, pressing into all 5 of each of the finger pads on each hand. And then swoop that right foot, so the one at the back of the cross, forward and across towards the left hand. Nice. And then we're going to step that back foot to meet it, finding that cross within our forward fold. Coming up through heart center, third eye sky, inhale. And exhale, hands down, Tadasana. Really nice, yogis. Okay, Utkatasana, chair pose from here. Arm crossing those feet, sending the hips back. Weight is in the heels here, and we're lifting the toes to find a little bit of buoyancy. As you exhale, bringing those hands to heart center and twisting to the right, gently hooking that left elbow outside the right knee. And I say gently because we want the twist to come from the core, yogis, not just from kind of hooking and turning here. So really consciously engaging the center as we twist. And then looking down to make sure that left knee isn't creeping forward. We want the knees in line as much as possible here. If it's there for you, you may like to inhale, open, expand those arms. And then back through center, remaining in that Utkatasana, reaching up, big breath in. Second side, hands to heart center, twisting to the left. Gentle hook of that right elbow outside the left knee. Stay here or open those arms up. Nice, and then back through center, one final breath here. And breathe it out, enjoy a wowzers forward fold here. Shake it out through the legs, the head, the neck. Beautiful, one more time, inhale. Sit those sit bones back, scoop the heart and chest up. Utkatasana. And then exhale, taking that twist to the right. And this time we'll bring all of the weight into the right foot. So we can pop up onto the left toes. And then send that left foot back nice and long behind us. So we're in this twisted lunge shape here. Really nice. And then from here, inhale, open those arms. And then coming to standing, really reaching through the ring fingers here, drawing that right hip back in space as we twist over that leg. Those can be sideways, maybe back towards that backhand if that's there for you. Enjoying this twisting, this ringing out, maybe continuing the line of energy, taking the right hand to the left calf, top arm coming up and over. So now we're getting that lateral lengthening happening too. Really nice. And then cartwheel those arms down, left hand to floor, easy twist. And then we're going to come onto the outside of that left foot as we stack the right hand on top, finding a side plank. And if this is too much, yogis, you may like to keep that right foot in front of you for a little bit more support. Breathing here. Feel free to extend if it's there for you. Lift the leg. Maybe find tree or yogi toe lock. And then rotating here, finding your plank, heading through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward facing dog. And flushing it out as you sigh out the exhale into downward facing dog. Nice, yogis. Okay, looking towards the front of the mat. As the inhale arrives, tiptoe step or hop yourself forward and find yourself back in delightful chair pose, Utkatasana. Breathe in here, find that buoyancy within the legs. And then engaging the core as we breathe out, twisting to the left. Okay, weight in the left foot here, popping the right toes, the right heel, sorry, I should say. And then sending that right leg back nice and long, feeling the length in the right hip flexor. Core remains active and engaged as we open through the arms. And then coming up into that twist. So looking back perhaps over those left fingertips, drawing that left hip back, staying here, or maybe continuing that movement right to its edge. As that right arm sweeps up and over. And then circling the arms forward, right hand meets the floor, left arm is high, easy twist. Okay, we're headed to side plank from here. So coming onto the outside of that right foot, finding that integrity in this right shoulder by pressing into the mat, particularly with the index finger and the thumb, and then stacking, maybe placing the left foot in front, maybe elevating, lifting that leg. Tune into what your body is after today. And then when you're ready, rotating into your high plank and flowing through your vinyasa. Moving in, downward facing dog. Lovely. Okay, jumping or crawling through now, coming to seated and finding a Navasana boat pose. Last little bit of power here, team, before we find some stretches. So options for Navasana, we can plant the toes and the fingertips on the floor. You maybe would like to elevate the shins and find parallel between the mat and the shins. Level 3 or lane 3 is to open up through the arms and the chest. And then from here, we're going to interlace those fingers, point to the index fingers, like you're really aiming for something in front of you. And then twist those fingers to place them on the outside of your mat, through center, and then the other side. So we're just twisting side to side here, engaging that abdominal region, and also really kind of wringing out our center, encouraging that digestive flow, that internal fire. Really nice. Going for 3 and 2 and 1. Good. And release it, finding a butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. And maybe some little spinal rolls here as we flush that out. Nice work, yogis. Okay, I'm going to come to face side on as we set up for a seated twist. So we're crossing right foot on the outside of that left knee. Left foot is outside that right hip, but if that's too much, you may like to extend that left leg long. You can also sit on a block here, team. If you find you're rounding, then that's a nice idea to help find that length and strength in the back body. And then inhale, left hand up, right fingertips behind. Taking that twist and maybe checking in here to see if there is maybe a little bit more range of motion. If this feels a little bit more easeful or accessible than the twists we took earlier in our class. Play here or extend by grabbing that front foot with the front hand, reaching through the heel and then reaching behind you with the back hand. Beautiful. Release that down. Switching the cross of the legs. So left foot outside right knee, right foot tucked in, or maybe extending it long. And then left fingertips come behind us. Breathe in, right arm lift. Exhale, twist from the center here. Stay with this or extend that leg, reach that arm. Starting to slow down the heart right now. Release. Let that go. Find a cross-legged position. Perhaps prop yourself up. And revisiting this churning circular motion that we began with, but really slowing it down now. Moving almost as if you're moving through thick, oozy honey. One way and then the other. This spiraling action, the roundness of our twists, of our torso circles. It relates to what we know in yoga as samana vayu, which basically means coming to central. It's a swirling action and it's associated with digestion, with integration, with kind of like a realigning and readjusting of all of those internal energies. So perhaps to finish here, you may like to create that spiral shape on your belly, rubbing in a clockwise direction here. So we encourage that final rinsing and releasing, moving into feeling revived and refreshed. Beautiful, letting that go. Hands come onto the lap. Refinding that strong spine and that soft front as we take a deep, energizing breath in, holding it at the top, sipping in a little more air, and then exhale it out through the mouth. Beautiful, one more round, breathe it in, hold it, sip in a little more air, and then sigh it out. Beautiful, yogis. From here, feel free to find a shavasana, sit in meditation for a while, or if you do need to continue on with your day, just move mindfully and easily. Have a drink of beautiful fresh water and enjoy the sense of revival and renewal. Thank you, as always, for practicing with me. I love and appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on the mat very soon.